Once upon a time, a long, long time ago. Well, I mean, not that long ago, because we're still telling the stories. So once upon a time, there was a mountain, and under that mountain, there lived a blacksmith. Do you know what a blacksmith is? Okay, so a smith is a person who makes stuff out of metal. So like a coinsmith is a person who makes coins, and a bladesmith is a person who makes blades. And so back in the day, you used to be named after your job. So it'd be like, oh, you're John the blacksmith. And then that eventually became John Smith. And then in Germany, they call it Schmidt. And I've heard some people say Smitty. Oh, but a blacksmith, they called iron the black metal. So an ironsmith and a blacksmith are kind of the same thing. See, okay, let me go back to the story. Okay, so under a mountain, there lived a blacksmith. His name was Procrustes. His name means he who stretches. And that's kind of how you make things with metal. You heat the metal and then you stretch it and then you hammer it into the shape you want. And Procrustes doesn't just do this to metal. You're going to see where I'm going with this. Procrustes has a house by the side of the road, and he acts all nice to everybody who's coming by. And when strangers come by the road, he invites them in for a meal and offers them a nice bed to sleep in. And he always says, oh, it's a special bed. Oh, really? Oh, Procrustes? Oh, how is it so special? And Procrustes says, well, it may look like it's the wrong length, but it's magic. It will exactly match the length of whoever lies in the bed. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? You see the trick coming because you know this guy ain't good. So when the guest falls asleep, Procrustes gags them, ties them up, and makes them fit to the size of the bed. And if the person is too short, Procrustes stretches them. And if the person is too big, well, he just removes some body parts so they fit just right. You see the lesson here, don't you, right? Greek stories always have a lesson in it. Besides the lesson of not going to some stranger's house and take a nap, right? The lesson of Procrustes here is that there is no such thing as one size fits all. Like, that's not a thing. There is not a one size fits all for capitalism. There's not a one size fits all for how you raise your children. And there's not even a one size fits all for democracy. Like, every country has a slightly different form of democracy. And every successful family kind of does it their own way. There's things about each thing that works well, but not everything works well for every person. Like, that is the whole lesson of the story here. If you take an idea, you mold the idea to you. You never mold yourself to the idea. Okay, you with me on that? Okay, but the story of Procrustes does not end there, right? That's not it. Procrustes is doing this to like every kind of person that comes along. And then this dude named Theseus comes along. The thing you need to know about the Greek story of Procrustes is that Procrustes is the son of Poseidon, the god of water. He's one of the big three. You got Zeus and Hades and Poseidon. Those are the big guys. And Procrustes has some serious god power. So how do you defeat a god? Theseus. Theseus is famous for killing villains and bad guys of all sorts. Look at this dude. Sword, check. Shield, check. UFC training, I'm gonna put a check right there, right? He even slayed the Minotaur. So Procrustes meets this Theseus guy, and he tries his bed thing out on him. But the thing is, Theseus really, really believes in the idea of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So he did to Procrustes what he'd been doing to others. It kind of goes along well with that ancient idea from Hammurabi's Code, like an eye for an eye. Now, we don't necessarily believe in the eye for an eye business anymore, but they did back then. So Theseus fights him and straps him up in his special little one-size-fits-all bed. And that was the end of Procrustes. And then Theseus was called the King of Athens, and he was actually one of the early kings of Athens. Oh yeah, and according to legend, Theseus' father was none other than Poseidon himself. And Procrustes' dad was Poseidon too. So these are two of Poseidon's sons, and they're fighting each other. And there you have it, Greek mythology. So the next time someone tries to make you fit into something that doesn't fit, don't be changing yourself. Nothing in life is a one-size-fits-all. That is the lesson from Procrustes. You like that? Old Crusty. All right, enjoy yourself some Greek mythology. Bye.